Excel Tutorial 1, pages ex4 through ex13. Okay, always read everything in your textbook. There is a ton of information in here that you need to go over. Now, the first thing they're going to have you do is open SP Finances, which is the file for this particular tutorial. I'm not going to go through how to do that with you because my file is saved in a completely different manner than yours, and for a new student it'll only confuse them. So I'm going to tell you, you should navigate to your flash drive and open this file on your own. It's called SP Finances. You saved it from Blackboard onto your flash drive in our last class. So open SP Finances. Now, a lot of times when our files from the textbook author come, when you open it, it says protected view. If this happens to you, it may or it may not, but if it happens, you just click enable editing. And now we have our file and it's ready to go. So anytime that happens and you see that protected view thing, just click that little button that says enable editing and you're going to be fine. Go ahead and read page ex6. Go ahead, hit pause, go read it. All right, on page ex7, it says to switch between touch mode and mouse mode. Now, our computers at the school do not have a touch mode. Therefore, I'm not going to do this with you because we can't do it in our classroom. And some of you at home may not have a touch screen. Now, if you have a touch screen, you need to do this portion. Okay, go ahead, read through it, try it all, do it on your touch screen. But since we don't have them at the school and the vast majority of my students don't have a touch screen, I'm not going to do that with you. So let's flip to the next page. All right, read about changing the active sheet, and then when you're finished reading it, we'll go on to step 1. All right, to change the active sheet, on page ex8, step number 1, click the Income Statement Sheet tab. Now look right down here, you have all of your sheet tabs, and you click on it to make that sheet active. You can tell it's active because it's in green. Do you see that? It's a bold green font, and these are what we would refer to as ghosted out. They're not active. This is the active sheet. Click the Expenses Sheet tab. Okay, and you're just going to see a chart sheet containing only an Excel chart. This is just to get you used to moving between the different tabs and the different sheets, learning to see what a chart sheet looks like, okay? Step number 3 at the top of page ex9, click the Balance Sheet tab so you can take a look at the Balance Sheet tab. So you can see that this can have these little miniature charts in it as well. Click the Cash Flow Sheet tab. There you go, that's information about the company's cash flow. And then finally, step 5, just click the Income Sheet tab again to make it active. All right, read about navigating within a worksheet. Super important that you learn everything that's in here, okay? The row number range, how many rows an Excel sheet can contain, how many columns. I guarantee those are the types of questions you're going to be seeing on worksheets and quizzes, so make sure you read all of that. And when you're finished, we're going to go to scroll through the Income Statement worksheet. Number 1, on the vertical scroll bar, click the down arrow button. Okay, vertical means which way? It means up and down. Our vertical scroll bar is located on the far right hand side of the screen. It has an up button right there. It has a down button right there. We're going to click down. Okay, so it says click down until you see cell C36, which says C36. Do you see it? It has a value of $4,600 in it. It's right there. So just scroll down using this button until you can see it. Okay? On the horizontal scroll bar, horizontal goes across. Just drag the bar to the left and the right. Just basically learn how to move this. Okay? That's all they want you to do. And then on the vertical scroll bar, grab your slider bar and slide it up. Okay? Slider bar versus our up and down arrows. So that's all we're learning to do is how to scroll up and down and left to right. Please, the one really important thing I want you to note is scrolling never alters what the active cell is. So if we have right down here, you see it, my active cell, And cell C36, I know because it tells me in the address box right here, and it's outlined in green. Scrolling doesn't affect that. So you scroll up here and you start typing, where's it going to go? Down here. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not active. Okay, so scrolling doesn't affect the active cell, it only affects what you can see on the screen. Flip to the next page, please. I want you to read about your Excel navigation keys. Super important. The two most important ones, I've gone over it with you extensively in class, are Control Home and Control End, END. But you do need to look at all of those and give them a try. Try them all out. And when you're finished, we're going to go on to change the active cell. Move your pointer over cell B5. So here's B5. Click. Okay, see how it turned green? All the way around it has a dark green outline. And if you look up here in the name box, right up here, it tells you that cell B5 is the active cell. I want you to know this is something that will be very important to you later in the class. It's something I use all the time to ensure I'm in the correct cell. So please make sure you know where it is and what it does. Now I'm in C6, now I'm in C11, okay? So you are currently located in B5 and the name box tells you that. All right, press the right arrow key. Okay, and now the active cell is what? Look right there, C5. Okay, press the page down, and now what is your active cell? C34. Press page up, and now your active cell is C5. Press the Control Home. Anytime you press Control Home, your active cell will always be cell A1. Again, you should be able to tell by looking in the name box right there and seeing it. Okay, read that quick little paragraph, and then we're going to go on to use the Go To dialog box and the name box. On the Home tab, okay, there's your Home tab. In the Editing group, here's your Editing group. Group names are down here in the bottom, so here's your Editing group, far right side. Click the Find and Select button. Find and Select button. That's going to give you a drop-down menu. And click Go To. They'll also tell you your F5 key. An F5 key is not the letter F and the number 5. It is a function key. It is located at the very, very top of your keyboard. If you are working on a laptop, your function keys can be radically different, okay? So on a standard keyboard, function keys are the very tippy top row. Take a look at them, F1 through F12. If you are working on a laptop, it is imperative for you to know that those keys work very differently, and every laptop is different. And I would actually have to see your laptop to tell you how to use your function keys. If you don't know how, you can go to Google and Google the name of your laptop and how to use my function keys, and it'll come right up. Okay, so we did our Go To, right? So type C36. Okay, we are in our Go To dialog box. All dialog, first of all, you can move any dialog box by grabbing it in the blue part of the title bar and just pushing it with your mouse. The title of the dialog box is right here. It is telling us to go to Reference, the reference box, and type in C36, and then click OK. And that moves down to C36 and makes C36 the active cell. Okay? And that's all there is to using your Go To. Now, you might look at a spreadsheet this small and go, well, that's the silliest thing. Why did I learn that? Imagine a sheet that had 1,500 rows in it. Then you could see why using your Go To get to a particular cell could be very, very important to you. So, learn how to do this stuff now so that later on, when it comes very important, you'll know how to do it. Okay? All right, so they want us to go back to cell A1. So this time they want us to click in the name box and actually type A1 and press your enter key, and that'll take you to whatever you type in, whichever address you type in right here and press your enter key, it takes you right there. Okay, read selecting a cell range real quick, 2 quick little paragraphs, but super important. Chapter 1, to so many of you, is like easy, I can do all this, but let me tell you, it's the backbone. 1 and 2, the backbone of everything for the class. So later when I start yelling things out to you, like go to your name box, you'll know what I'm saying, okay? When we start talking about your range reference, you'll know exactly what I'm saying, Okay, so make sure that you are reading all this and going through it, even if it's a review for you. All right, we're gonna click what? B5? To select a cell range, number 1, click cell B5 to select it, okay? Without releasing your mouse button, and if you did like I did, it's no big deal. We can get right back in there and hold our mouse button down. Drag down to C8. So we're gonna go down, and we also want C8, correct? And that's C8 right there. Again, B5 to C8. If you miss it, deselect. Deselect means click in just any white portion and try again. So we want B5 through C8. Take a look and learn now how these light up and show you what's selected so that you know we have C8, correct? We also have this quick analysis button pop up. Don't worry about that right now. Later on, it's something we'll use. Just for right now, know that when you select a range, you're going to get a quick analysis button that pops up right here. Feel free not to use it right now. All right, flip to page ex12, and then it just says deselect the range by clicking on A1. Easy as pie so far. All right, read that little paragraph right there about non-adjacent selection. And when you're finished, we're going to move on to select a non-adjacent range in the income statement worksheet. Click cell B5. All right, we're going to select B5 to C8 again. Okay. Now, except for I didn't want you to really select that range, so deselect, click B5, shift and click C8. They wanted you to do it that way, okay? No big deal. You can do your selections any way you want, okay? They were just teaching you another way to do it, and you can tell I'm a mousy person. I always use my mouse. They said do it this way, shift, click. Just make sure you know how to do it both ways, and then as the class moves on, you do whatever is the fastest and most efficient and accurate for you. All right, now this part we do have to do exactly like they're telling us because it's a non-adjacent selection. So now we're going to hold down our control key. Please find your control key. It's CTRL. It's on the far left-hand side of your keyboard at the very, very bottom. There are 2 control keys. I'm right-handed, so I use the left control key. If you are left-handed, you'll be using the right control key, and if you're left-handed, you already knew that. Okay, so the rest of us who are right-handed, CTRL, very bottom. See it? All right, hold down the control key, and then while you have it hold down, do not let go of control at any point. Select the range B10 through C14. So B10 through C14. Then always let go of your mouse first. If you let go of the control key first, commands fail. You always let go of your mouse first. And that's how you select a non-adjacent range. Okay, non-adjacent meaning they're not next to each other. Yes? Super easy. Again, we can certainly do it real quickly. We're going to select this. Then using our control key, we're going to select this non-adjacent range. That's it. Deselect by clicking on cell A1, and that's all there is to it. Now, one thing I do need to warn you about when I make these videos is that my quick access toolbar has been customized, of course, because it's mine and I'm at home. And just like you would do at work or at home, you customize things. So my quick access toolbar is completely different than yours. Mine is located right here. Yours will be located at the school up at the top in your title bar, and it will have far fewer icons on it. Just know that that's my personal preference right there. You will be using your quick access toolbar up here, but you can use it just like the book tells you to, okay? So for now, I want you to go to the ribbon and click File, and then Close. And if it asks you about saving your options, don't save them. And you just finished your first portion of tutorial 1. I want you to close this one out, and we're going to move on to the video that covers pages ex15 through ex29.